Well, hello there, Capricorn. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Today, we are doing your May General Tarot reading. So we'll take a look at the overall energies with the Oracle cards, and then we'll move to the Tarot for more details. And this reading is good for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So if the message here doesn't resonate with you, you may want to try out one of your other signs to see if there's a message there. Okay, so let's get into your reading and see what you have on the horizon in May. Parrot Spirit, watch your words. Okay, and faraway places. Get ready for new horizons. Wonderful energy. It is a little bit about being careful what you are saying or wishing for, okay? Because there could be something new that's opening up for you or wants to open up for you, but your words may prevent it from coming in, or you could be manifesting going somewhere where you don't really want to go, okay? So, for instance, let's take the scenario, okay, that, you know, you don't like your job. Say, you know, you're sitting there and you're talking about how much you don't like your job. And before you know it, you've lost your job and you're having to move to a new job. Okay, whether it is you actually have to move to a new city, or or it could be that you just have to move locations. The other thing is that it can work out in the good way for you, right? You could be saying, oh my goodness, you know, I really would love to go on vacation, and then before you know it, there's an opportunity and you can travel, go somewhere new. So it is understanding that your words create your reality, especially at this time when the parrot energy is showing up. So being careful of the words that you say and also the words that you think. Both count, as well as, like, you know, writing or any other, you know, kind of talking that you may do. Just make sure that what you're thinking or saying is in alignment with what you may want to have come onto your path. Yeah, because wow, lovely energy here. Okay, so you do have underneath, you have this is a blessing in disguise. Okay, the Capricorn, I'm just going to say, this is like the universe is saying, Capricorn, you are about to have some big change come onto your life, okay? And the way that you are talking and speaking and thinking at this time is going to manifest this change. So you have an opportunity, right, to you know, to take a look at what you're saying and making sure that it is on track with something that you would like to have come to fruition for you. Now, let's go back to that job. You may be saying to yourself or to other people that you don't like your job. And then all of a sudden, right, you don't have that job anymore. Okay, you have to move to another job for one reason or another. There's layoffs, or, you know, your division is being shut down, or, you know, the economy has shut down your career sector, whatever it is. There's something that comes in to make that change. Capricorn doesn't like their job, so the universe listens and says, job goes away. Poof. Okay, but here's the thing. Your spirit guides and angels also know that if you're saying you don't like your job, that means that you are manifesting some type of a change in your career sector, but this actually is a blessing. It's almost as if you've been struggling with making some change in your life, okay? Whether it's in a career, in your job, in a relationship, in where you're living, in how you're spending your time, and you have been talking about it, okay? It's going to happen in some way, whether it's a way that you would like for it to happen or not, right? So say you've been complaining about your job, but you're not looking for another job, right? Then the job just goes away for one reason or another, right? But here it is. It is a blessing in disguise. So if you're kind of leaving it up to the universe, I feel like this is kind of a little bit of a forewarning that there is going to be a change. You get to decide how that change happens. So say you don't like your job. Say you would like to have a different job. using the words, right, to create that other job. So instead of saying complaining in a negative way about your job, looking at it either positively and saying things that you are grateful for about your job, and then, okay, maybe you were promoted or you're moved to a department that you're going to like, or perhaps even your supervisor or somebody like that is moved away, right? When you're using positive words, you will have a positive outcome. Now, the other thing is that, you know, say you're thinking, oh, I really don't like my job, but you're not acting upon that, like looking for another job, then it is also about the universe recognizing that you may need a little bit of a push to start searching for another job. But it's a blessing in disguise. Really interesting that this is coming out at this time because, you know, we're coming out of that Pluto in Capricorn, your energy for the last 15 years. We're moving into the Pluto in Aquarius energy. It's understanding that perhaps the rules that you have used for the last 15 years, okay, in order to identify who you are, because it was in your first house of self, right? To identify who you are is changing, and the universe wants you to change. You could be not changing, okay, into this. You could be holding on to your old beliefs, and the universe is coming in to help you to move in a direction that will help, that will be more in alignment with your happiness, your joy, and abundance. I want to reiterate, okay, it is a blessing in disguise. So even if something occurs that you're kind of like, how can this be a blessing? When it first occurs in the long run, you will say you lose your job, right? Because you're talking about it negatively. You know, 6 months from then, you have your dream job, you're making more money and working less hard. And you're like, oh, that was a blessing in disguise, right? It's not a blessing maybe when it happens, but it's a blessing later. Yeah. So you have a consciousness of lack on the bottom with the transformation card, okay? So this is the death card, Scorpio energy. And you know, Capricorn, we have the full moon in Scorpio on May 5th. So I feel like there could be something coming in, some big change that occurs for you in that first week of May that puts you into some new mindset, changing the way that you are talking or thinking about your life, stepping more into a sense of gratitude, right? There's either that or some event occurs that propels you into having to make a big change in your life. So it's really kind of interesting. I think it was Gemini had somewhat of a similar message about looking for the joy in, if you don't want to make a change in your life, it's about finding the joy in the life that you have at this time. And that it changes, it literally changes your life, because even if you're not changing your relationships, your home, your job, right? It will change your life. It transforms the way that you see things from a perspective of lacking things, lacking time, lacking energy, lacking money, lacking whatever, lacking fun in your life, okay? Lacking time to travel, whatever it is. So you're either going to transform your mindset from a mentality of lack into discovering, okay, the joy, the gratitude, the gold. See, he's holding a golden nugget, the gold in the things that are already in your life, or you're going to be propelled into making a change, whether you want to or not. Either way though, Capricorn, it's a blessing. And that's what you have to kind of step into whenever this occurs. Either your mindset, like you make the decision to change your mindset, or the universe makes a decision for you. Because here's your present energy. We're going to the tarot, and here's your present energy. You're hanging, all right? You're hanging there. You're waiting to make a decision, but you have this energy. Are you choosing to prioritize yourself or another in this situation? Accept divine guidance, pointing you towards your own joy. You deserve it. So once again, are you complaining about someone, a romantic connection, someone in your family, a friend? Are you complaining, having negative thoughts about your life, your physical vessel, or even your job or your career? Asking yourself, where do I have this mindset that I don't have what I want? And then changing your mindset to being grateful for what you already have. Really interesting, because I just took Maggie for a walk, and I at this moment I kind of have a lot going on in my life, in different sectors of my life, and I walk with my dog with my neighbor every single evening, and so she and I were talking, and I was just like, yeah, it's just like I have a lot going on. I'm spinning a lot of plates right now, but I feel like that's all I'm doing is spinning plates, and it's all good. It's all moving in the right direction. But she pointed out to me, she was like, okay, let's make a list of all the things that you're grateful for right now. And I was like, yes, I needed that. I actually, you know what? You have the teacher under here. Yeah, she was actually being a teacher to me, a teacher to see the joy in your life instead of concentrating on what you don't have, concentrating on what you do have, because it was so funny that, she said that, because I'm kind of always the one that's, pointing out what's the positive. And she did that for me. And I was really grateful, because it really kind of lifted my energy. I was like, yeah, okay, it's all good. It's all good. It's all going in the right direction. So I feel like that's kind of what you are stepping into. Yeah, you have a big decision. Wow, Tower. I'm letting you know, Capricorn, there is it's like a big shift, a big burden that you are dropping. And it could have something to do with a romantic connection, or it could have something to do with connections, okay? Some connection that you have in your life. It's also about dropping the burden of, not choosing for yourself, right? Because the Two of Cups is choosing something that is near and dear to your heart. Kind of going your own way. You have the Hermit energy, understanding. Yeah, you're moving away from something. You're moving away from something because it's not really in alignment with what your heart truly wants. Yes, and you have the Queen of Cups here. It's your time to make a decision. Are you deciding based on what your heart desires, or are you going to get kind of caught up in this negative energy, this energy of it could have been also Libra, kind of have it just being on the hamster wheel, right? And going round and round, saying the same things over and over again, complaining about, the same things, kind of like I was with my friend today, we all get into that pattern, but recognizing, wait a minute, this is a pattern. I'm concentrating on the things I can't control, or I'm concentrating on the things that I don't have, right? Concentrating on the negative aspects instead of saying, okay, wait a minute, stop. What is good in my life? What do I want to continue? Yeah, if you have any Gemini, in your chart, you may want to go watch that Gemini reading, because it really did kind of really get deep down into that energy of making sure, okay, that you're not just walking away, or you're not just making decisions based on what you don't have, but you're making decisions based on what your heart is desiring, okay? And there's a difference. There is a huge difference. Sometimes when we look at what we don't have, it can help us to kind of like figure out what we may want, but then we need to concentrate, put all of our focus, time, and energy on what our heart truly desires, instead of continuing to make decisions or make plans based on what we don't have. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Let's put it this way, okay? You're kind of being asked, like, if you were to go to the grocery store, this is really interesting, this example they're giving me. If you went to the grocery store and you went to the store and you only shopped for the things that you need, okay? You need. So you're only shopping for what you need. You could easily get home and you could have food to eat, right? But you may not like any of the food, because when you go to the grocery store, there is also something about purchasing foods that your heart, your body desires. There's a difference, right? desires to eat. It gives us more fulfillment, right? When we eat foods that are not just there to eat because we need to eat, but also foods that we also desire. And I don't mean like, going and clearing out the bakery section. It's kind of like, there is something about understanding that there is moderation in everything, right? You have to think about the nutritious part of eating, but you also need to think about, just why are we here? We're here to savor foods. We're here to enjoy life, to have experiences that we enjoy. And I think that that's where you may be sitting right now, asking yourself, am I enjoying my life? Is there any sense of joy in my life? It's time to go have some joyous fun, to enjoy your life and not just be so concentrated on what you don't have or how difficult life may be at this time. Okay, so let's go to your area of resistance, your obstacle. Yes. Okay, so you have someone new is coming, all right? And it says an important new relationship is on the horizon. Open your mind and heart so that happiness can enter your life. I think this is somebody new. It could be romantic, but it doesn't have to be. Once again, I want to say you have teacher. I feel like there's somebody new coming onto your path, just like my friend, my neighbor that pointed out to me, okay, let's focus on the good here, right? It's kind of like stepping in. I think this is a person that may help you to understand the concept. I mean, I think you understand the concept of kind of looking towards what you would like to have, the joy you would like to have in your life. But I feel like this is somebody that really helps you to discover that and to stay in that pattern, right? Because that negative mindset can be a pattern that you could be addicted to. You can get very addicted to that. But it also keeps you stuck. You cannot move forward when you're stuck in that negative mindset. And that is what they're pointing out here. If you want more joy, more fulfillment, more abundance, more love in your life, right? You have to moderate. Okay, you have to be moderate in your thinking. You can't just concentrate on what you don't have. You have to also kind of think about, what do you want? It would be kind of like going to the grocery store, perhaps, right? And putting the things in the cart that you really do need to have. Okay, the things that maybe are on your grocery list that you really need. And then like stopping, right? At the end of the trip, before you check out, and ask yourself, well, what would I really like? What's something yummy that I would really enjoy? And maybe that's a special dinner you'd like to make. Or perhaps you haven't, I don't know, they're saying waffles. Perhaps you haven't had waffles in a long time. And it's kind of tuning back into your body, into your heart, and asking yourself, what is it you would desire out of life? And then also taking action on that. Not just, oh yeah, that's something I would really like, but I don't have the money, but I don't have the time, right? It's like no more buts. That's what it is. I may actually use that for the title. There's no more buts. I would like that, but, right? It's about, no, there's no more buts. I would like that. I'm taking action on that. I'm putting that on my vision board, right? I'm spending time visualizing, having that come into my life and really focusing on that, putting a little bit of time and effort into doing that to help break the habit. Okay, so then let's take a look at what your advice is. Yeah, let it go. This situation of concentrating on what you don't like, or it's time to change your job, your relationship, where you live, whatever it is. If you can't find any joy in it, then maybe it is time to leave, right? This situation no longer serves you. Allow me to sever your energetic connections to the past so that you can embrace the future. It's all about getting inspired to go towards the future, to looking at what it is that you would like to have come into your life. The experiences, the relationships, the abundance, the fulfillment, the sense of purpose, the joy of waking up every morning. It's asking yourself, okay, that's what I want. What do I have to do to get it? and not allow any excuses. You may have fallen into a pattern of excuses. It's kind of like, no, we're in Aquarian energy. It is about thinking outside of the box. Yeah, it really is. It's really about thinking outside of the box. So I really love this energy. It is, I really feel like 2023, for the rest of this year, it really is about practicing, focusing on the future instead of focusing on the past. Focusing on what our heart desires instead of focusing on why we think we can't have it, or it won't happen, or we're not worthy of it, or whatever it is. We've left that behind. When Pluto moved into Aquarius, March 23rd of this year, it's propelling us to start thinking in a different way and to understand that what we say is what our reality becomes. So think about that. Yeah. I mean, really interesting because my friend, yeah, she was like, you're creating your own chaos. and I was like, yeah, I really am. Because that's what I'm talking about. Instead of being really grateful for all, I mean, I have a lot going on right now, but instead of being really grateful and looking at the joyful side of some of those things, right? I was concentrating on things that were kind of bothering me. And it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. All right, so let's pull a soul truth card for you. And Capricorn, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Am I focused on what I want most? You have to be kidding me, right? Are you focused on what you want most, or are you focused on why you can't have it, right? If you focus on why you can't have it, you'll never get it because you're focused on why you can't have it, right? It's about focusing on what it is that you want. One reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. What you focus on grows. Today, ask yourself, is my life a reflection of my values, or do I need to make adjustments? And then prioritize. Yes. So one of the best ways to do that is to ask yourself, right? And you could do that right now if you wanted to stop the video and ask yourself, what are 3 things that really you either would like to have in your life, okay? Or that you value that you already have in your life? What are 3 things that bring you joy? And then to ask yourself, are you spending time and energy every single day on those things? Are you spending your resources on those 3 things? And if you're not, it's time to start thinking about doing that. Because what brings you joy, if you put time, energy, and resources into what brings you joy, you will manifest more joy. It helps to raise your vibration and you go to that next level and you're going to get more joy, more abundance, more love into your life. But if you're concentrating, you're putting time and energy, okay, into things that you don't enjoy, then you're just going to get more of that sense of lack, of not enjoying life, of just life is drudgery, okay? Or that you don't have what you want or what you desire. It's almost as if the universe can tell what you really and truly want. Because if you're putting your time and energy into things that don't bring you joy, then guess what? You're just going to get, the universe thinks, oh, well, that's what Capricorn really likes. They're spending all their time and energy and money on things they don't like, but that must mean that they really do like them, right? So that's why you get more of it. If you start putting some time and energy and resources into those things that you do like, perhaps traveling or hobbies or finding a more flexible job so that you have time for traveling, the connections that you have, right? Are you putting time, money, and energy into the things that you enjoy? And when you start doing that, you on a daily basis, okay? And I'm not saying all day, just take 10 minutes. You know, if you like to write poetry for 10 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's good poetry or bad poetry. It's just kind of like, okay, I enjoy poetry. Just keep going back to doing those 3 things that you really putting time and energy into, those 3 things that bring you joy every single day, as many minutes as you possibly can. And then you will see all of a sudden that will grow. That pot of joy will grow bigger and bigger for you. Really interesting message that's kind of been coming out for a couple of the signs. So I feel like the universe is trying to push us into that energy of looking forward and no longer looking in that rear view mirror. All right, well, I'm going to leave it there, Capricorn. I really do appreciate all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. I hope you resonated with this message, and I hope to see you again really soon. Much love and light to you. Bye for now.